Hi everyone, welcome to today's reading. It's going to be another general collective twin flame reading. If anybody is new here, welcome. Thank you so much for joining me here today. I am back from my little break, so I'm happy to be doing these readings for you guys. I'm going to be using a couple different decks today. I'm just kind of being guided to start out with the Archangel Power Tarot cards. So I'm going to begin with these, and then I'll just see what other decks I'm guided to. So as I shuffle the cards, my intention is to see what is going on within the Twin Flame Collective at this time. What messages do we need to hear? So the first energy I would like to start out with tapping into is the Divine Masculines in the collective. So what is going on for the Divine Masculines in the Twin Flame Collective? And here we have it, King of Gabriel. So keep your eyes on the bigger picture, leave the details to others, experience that leads to success, genuine concern for others. So this is my King of Pentacles. He is this divine masculine who is really having a hard time foreseeing what's going to happen, and I feel like this masculine is trying to predict what is going to happen when he takes a certain action, and this is most likely toward his divine feminine, but let's find out. I'll go to my Santa Muerte deck to see what else wants to come through. Apparently everything wants to come out here, so let's see what is going on for this divine masculine that he is being guided to look at the bigger picture for. Ace of Pentacles. So we have the King of Pentacles and the Ace of Pentacles. Very aligned energy here. So this divine masculine is being shown, and I'm sorry about the lighting, you guys. There's really nothing I can do about it today. The sun is just at a weird angle, and unfortunately this curtain that's by my side does not close. It's just a decorative feature. I can't close it. So forgive the lighting here. I'll do the best I can to show you the cards. But this divine masculine is actually being told that he will have a stable new beginning if he takes the action that he's being guided to take. He has to leave a certain past behind that he really wants to leave behind, but he's just not able to at this time. And here we go. We have the Ace of Swords, breakthrough. Very synchronistic energy. There is a breakthrough waiting to happen with a solid new beginning. There is no doubt. If this divine masculine is unable to see the bigger picture, what happens is he hesitates a lot to act. He does have a lot of fears within him about how he will be perceived, and that is the biggest thing that holds him back. Look at this. The King of Pentacles came out in the reverse position, you guys. So we have the King of Pentacles here, and we have the King of Pentacles in the reverse position. This is mirrored energy. So this is right when this card came out, I said what he's being guided towards, right? So this is where he's at now. He's already in the disaligned version of this energy. So King of Pentacles mode, yes, he's already stepped into it, but he's not acting out of that energy at this point. And that is what the universe is pushing him towards, if that makes sense for you guys. So I'm gonna go to my Everyday Witch Tarot now to see what is going on for the Divine Feminines in the collective. I'm really feeling like a lot of feminines here have just pulled their energy back, and they've done it for various reasons. Some have actually just reached an emotional state where they feel like they can't keep up with it anymore, and they just have to let go for the sake of their own well-being, and that's okay, because actually that's what the universe was hoping would happen, is that you would let go for the sake of your well-being and just focus on yourself and allow things to unfold naturally. Sometimes you are pushed to that state to let go because otherwise you maybe weren't letting go, right? And you weren't surrendering and allowing things to unfold naturally. And placing a hyperfixation, within the 3D world is also detrimental, because a lot of times what you see isn't what is, right? And we've heard this saying many times, like, things are not always what they seem. So that is why, especially for twin flames, for true twin flames, in the technical sense of being one soul in two bodies, you're always being told and guided to not pay attention to the 3D world, because it's not necessarily true in spiritual truth. So the 3D world will cause you to go in all sorts of a tailspin, but you don't really know what's happening underneath the surface, right? We see examples of this even in non-twin flame situations where, a couple will feel like, oh, everything is so great, we just went on these vacations, we just did all these amazing things, and then boom, one day they just, their counterpart is just gone. And it's like, what happened? I thought we were doing great. Well, that's exactly what happened, right? Is their head and heart was not there. Their head and heart was somewhere else. Here we have the 5 of Cups to confirm that. They're inside, a person can be longing for somebody else, even though on the outside it looks like they're somewhere else, they're doing something else. It's just, what you see is not always what you get. How many times, even in our lives, have we interacted with people, met with people, known people that, we thought, oh, they're just wonderful, and then the next thing you know, they turn out to be just the opposite, right? Or they do something that proves to you that they're not who you thought they were. And so twin flame connections really work in that sense too. There's a lot of illusions that are involved, and that's why ascension is so important, you guys. You have to be able to rise above this 3D physical world to really understand on a spiritual level what is happening between you and your counterpart. This is why the 5D connections are so strong. Look at that. She's blindfolded and she's throwing this dart, right? Now, this is not a very smart thing to do for anybody that is handling sharp objects, whether they are adults or not, right? You always want to make sure that you're looking at where your objects are going, especially if it's sharp. So many divine feminines up until this point had really just kind of been feeling blindfolded. They can't see what's in front of them. They can't see what's coming. They can't see what's going on in the background. They're feeling all kinds of things, but they can't tell what sensations are real and which ones arise out of their own fear, just because of their inability to see at that moment. So this is where guidance from the universe through the ascension process comes in. Sometimes you are blindfolded for your own protection, right? Because if you see, for example, your counterpart's social media, or if you're spying on them somewhere in public, or like you're trying to be where they are so you can see what's going on, you're going to see things that are not in alignment with what's actually going on. That's why a lot of twin flames feel like this is a roller coaster and they're going crazy, because I feel the spiritual connection, right? I feel my counterpart thinking of me. I know they are thinking of me. You know, I'm not just having dreams, but I'm feeling like I'm being woken up by their energy in the middle of the night because they're dreaming of me. Like I can feel it when we connect during meditation, this, that, you know, we hear all kinds of stories and experiences that people have gone through, and then they see their counterpart in some 3D situation, and then they start thinking that they're crazy. Like, you know, I can't handle the, you know, this roller coaster ride anymore. I just want off of it. And that's why we're always guiding you to not try to follow them in the background, right? Because you are right. When you're feeling something that strongly and you're having such intense experiences, your mind and your body your soul is not making this stuff up. You really are feeling it. But you were put into separation for a reason, because there's a certain amount of growth that has to happen. You are still two individual people. Even if you are twin flames, you have your own work to do. You have your own ascension to do. You have your own deep soul lessons to learn through certain 3D processes that will help you in the ego death process. It's not just the masculine that goes through ego death. The feminines do as well. It just looks different for both parties. And for those of you who have been on this journey long enough, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Part of surrendering is letting go of that ego, that need to know what's happening and controlling the situations and outcomes as well. Because what you see is not what it seems. You can run into your counterpart and they can deny until the cows come home how they feel about you. It's happened. But when the cycle completes, what happens? You wind up back together. There's just nowhere else to go. It just depends on where you are in the process. That's why so many twin flames have this in and out and in and out. And we always suggest to allow no contact separation to be that way. If you were the quote unquote chaser in your connection, don't continue chasing after the 3D physical separation has happened. You can be chasing directly by like actually reaching out. You could be chasing indirectly by watching them in some way, shape, or form. You have to let your counterpart go through their process, their journey. You have to complete your process and your journey. This is part of that codependency that you're trying to heal in the connection. You know, this need to cling on and this need to know and that need for validation. You have to, during the separation phase, you just kind of have to know that your counterpart does love you. You just have to know that. It's not something you're going to get proof for in the 3D for a while. Until your counterpart comes back fully humbled in their divine masculine energy, you won't get proof for it, because outwardly they will be saying all kinds of things. They might be doing all kinds of things. They might even be ghosting you. I work with many clients who go through these things all the time, and I see them on this journey. And sometimes you reach a point where you just feel so weighed down by everything. Here we have the 10 of Wands, and it's not just the feminine that feels this burden, it's the masculine too. If they're not ready, they're just not ready, and that's something that you have to respect. You have to respect their readiness and their timing as well. It's not just because you're ready that they should be too. Your readiness will trigger them into a readiness. Absolutely. But that doesn't mean it's going to happen immediately. It means that they still have to go through their process. They still have lessons to learn. They still have growing to do. They still have realizations to be had. They have to release what no longer serves them, just like you do. You have to release that clinging, chasing energy while they release those karmic lessons that they're learning. And it doesn't always have to be a romantic third-party situation. It could be literally anything. It could be family, could be work, could be friends, anything, right? So just like you would want to be given the grace to make your own decisions, to think things through clearly, to learn your own lessons in your own timing, be sure that you extend that compassion and that same empathy to your counterpart. You are mirror souls, so look at them the same way that you would look at yourself. Give them that same compassion, understanding, and time that you would hope you would receive if you were in those shoes. Even if you don't understand their shoes at this moment, that's okay. That is absolutely okay. You don't have to, because that's their journey. That's their stuff for them to understand. The only thing you have to understand is they're not ready. And if you truly love somebody, you have to give them that room to grow. It's a really hard pill to swallow when you're in that phase, because you feel like, it's traumatic. For some, I know that you feel gaslighted by your twin flame, because you feel like they're sending you so many mixed signals. They're hot and cold. It's such an unbalanced connection. You're only giving, they're only taking, and then they're running away. But that is where your self-respect comes in, right? Where you have to respect and choose yourself enough to walk away from that situation. And if you know for a fact that this person is your twin flame, then you also automatically will know for a fact that they are going to come back to you. They are put into your life to teach you certain lessons. And until you learn those lessons, that separation phase stays. If you don't learn to choose yourself, how do you expect your other half, your twin soul, to choose you? Because they're you, right? You have to choose you so that they can choose you. You have to respect yourself enough in order for them to give you that respect. You have to draw that boundary and walk away when you feel like you're being manipulated, when you feel like you're being, gaslighted, or whatever the scenario is. And I know I'm not using the cards a whole lot because I'm just downloading this information like crazy, you guys. I feel like Spirit is just making me talk on autopilot to get all of this stuff out there. But this is something that is part of the lesson that you're learning on this journey. Here we have the Two of Wands. This speaks to a choice. You're literally looking out onto the horizon to make your decision. The world is in your hands. Your oyster. The world is your oyster right now. You have every power to make the decisions that are best suited for you. If your twin flame ran because they thought something or somebody else was better for them, then you have to choose you too and allow them to come back in their own timing. It's hurtful. It's painful. Who on earth wants to be told that, right? Who on earth can sit there and logically listen to, oh, I don't think you are the best fit for me. I know you have all these feelings, but I'm sorry, I'm going elsewhere. That's when you have to reframe it for yourself and say, that's their life, that's their choice, that's their perspective. I'm going to choose me and do what's best for me in the meanwhile. That is why these situations are so painful, because if they're not, they will never trigger us into choosing ourselves. They just won't. So when you make the choice to choose yourself first, look what comes up, the Nine of Pentacles. This is one of my favorite cards in the tarot, you guys, not just in this deck, but just in general. The Nine of Pentacles is just this amazing, independent, beautiful, fertile woman who can pretty much do anything on her own. She's so much in her power. She knows she loves her masculine, but she's not codependent on that love. I love you unconditionally. I can do that either face to face or I can do that from a distance, whatever is healthy. But I will keep my healthy boundaries until you're ready to come back to me, because you know what? True twin flames do come back. I am not one of those readers that subscribes to the belief that some twin flames don't make it to union. I do not believe that one bit. I do believe that everybody has free will. I do believe that everybody can make a choice about whether or not to be in union. But if you are the only two souls that vibrate at the exact same core soul frequency, if you share a bond like nobody else, if you feel this spiritual 5D connection to where even across planets you cannot be disconnected, the likelihood of you choosing that connection far exceeds the likelihood of you not choosing that connection. Because what you feel with this person, you can deny it to the other person, but you cannot deny it to yourself, right? You just know. You just know from the inside. And oftentimes when the masculine energy runs from this connection, because usually like 99% of the time it is the masculine energy that runs, but obviously not 100% of the time. So whoever this runner energy is, they do it because it's so intense that they don't know what to do with themselves in this connection. They literally have no idea what to do with themselves and what they're feeling, so they run. I keep hearing in my head, I'm not used to a connection like this, so I'm gonna run. So they're making this choice. They're trying to balance, do I give in to my emotions and risk getting hurt because this is extremely intense? Or do I choose something that seems safer and more familiar to what I've had before in the past? This is where karmic connections come in, right? Karmic connections somehow feel safer. Why? Because they're usually more shallow. Any connection is more shallow than a true twin flame connection, to be honest, because the soul level depth doesn't exist in other types of connections, even for soulmates. Twin flames is a completely different dynamic. This is not your regular love affair. This is not your regular romance. This is beyond like Romeo and Juliet type of love, right? This is love that exists beyond time and space, and a love that exists across lifetimes. It's not like it's just this one lifetime. Your twin flame has been with you for multiple lifetimes, for probably every lifetime. They probably have not incarnated with you in every lifetime, but if they didn't, their higher self was absolutely with you. That is for sure. I know many twin flames whose twin flame is not incarnate with them on this planet at this time, and they can feel them. They can feel them in the spiritual realm, in the 5D. They know that there's somebody out there that loves them so much and that they feel so much love for. They have no idea who this person is. And then they discover that they're a twin flame whose counterpart has not incarnated with them on this planet. That is the depth and level of twin flame love, you guys. That is why this journey is so difficult. And it's not just difficult for the chaser, it's difficult for the runner as well, even though it doesn't look that way. But I think that's what I'm going to call this video. Things are not always what they seem. I think that's a really important point to highlight, because especially right now with the astrological transits and people just kind of getting triggered easily. Leo season is notorious for triggers anyways, especially at the beginning. So I think this is why Spirit is just pushing me to get this message through. So this is what's happening right now in the collective, and I think this is the most urgent message. And I hope it finds all whom it will help. So that is it for today's reading, guys. I'm really just being guided to put this message out there. That's all the cards I'm being guided to pull. And this is not what I planned, but it just kind of came out when I started shooting this video. So I always just let that happen. And if you guys notice, my videos are never edited. I do not edit my videos ever. It is all from start to finish, as is, as filmed. So this is my message. This is Spirit's message, actually. It's not even my message. And I hope it helps. If any of you ever want to get a personal reading or card pull from me, Instagram is the place to do it. I'll leave my handle in the video description box. And that's also where you can purchase my Twin Flame Manifestation affirmations. Check out the highlight titled affirmations for reviews on those if you're interested. And also to book a personal reading, check out the highlight titled services, prices, booking info, all of that is right in there. And all the readings I currently offer are also in there. So I do hope to see you guys on Instagram. Thank you for joining me here today, but if not, I will definitely talk to you again in the next reading video. Have a great evening.